I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, the biggest football YouTube channel by far, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. Today we're doing Manchester City against Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, there's a couple of things I want to cover with Man City before we get into the actual breakdown and the analysis of what's going on in this game. Joining to our live streams on a Monday night, we kick off about 8 o'clock, and you'll probably learn a lot more than what I'm breaking down here. I'm starting to make that more of a, of a coaching thing, and letting people know more about what's going on in football than just the average regular idiot pundit, because they really don't know. Now, energy is a big thing in football, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because I'm going to cover this probably a lot more in depth on a Monday night. But energy in football, it does matter. How you win and lose games, it does matter. So I'm not going to get into ancient philosophy, but I will on Monday night, about all the nows. So all your previous nows and all the nows that you're doing now. That doesn't make sense, but it will. So you only live now. But everything that you're basing the now that you're living in and what you're listening to me is based on all your previous nows and all the things that's happened to you beforehand. And I will cover this much more in depth on Monday night. Manchester City are used to losing games. That's their current now, because they have last season. Their energy is a little bit different than it was 2 years ago. Everyone still thinks in football they're the team that they were 2 years ago because they've got XY manager playing at XY stadium with XY budget and they're doing this. It's just not true. Okay, it isn't true. So when you look and you think about football, if you start looking at it in terms of energy, energy does matter. So when they start going behind or start losing, that affects them in a different way than it would have, say, 3 years ago, where they just aren't going to lose the game of football because, well, that was their energy. Now, their energy is different. Now, if they go behind, they're a different football team, and they've got different players. They've got a whole bunch of things that are different at Manchester City. Same at Tottenham. Tottenham's energy is kind of different as well. They've got a new manager. They've just won their last game. They're on the up, are they? Well, they just won a European trophy. Their energy is a little bit different. So when they go ahead, they see things a little bit differently than they did 2 or 3 years ago. But it all comes down to individual mistakes and decisions in football. Systems don't win you games. Formations don't win you games. Players win you games. Because a player inside of that system or formation getting it wrong will completely and utterly destroy whatever system, formation, or anything you've got going on. Now, we're covering this little backwards header here to start with, and this is important, right? Because he has all the opportunities in the world there just to take the ball wide, bring it down to feet, and see what's going on. Instead, he elects to do a bad pass to the goalkeeper. No, they don't score from it, and the keeper's pretty much on his toes, all right? And he's pretty close. He's actually doing a good job. I rag on keepers quite often. I'm going to show you a couple of things that he does in this game that you can see, okay, there's a different goalkeeper here, maybe. He's not close enough for this header in the first place, especially a poor quality header like that. But his first instinct is to give it to the goalkeeper, not to bring the ball down and try to play it, because he's not a footballer. He's doing the system. The system is, in this situation, do A, B, and C. Instead of, can you bring the ball down and control it? Yeah, then you don't need to worry about anybody else. Doesn't do it. And I'm highlighting this because you're seeing this more and more in the Premier League. And I'm saying this because I know why. I know from when the academies were starting back in the early 2000s why they're doing this and how they're doing this, and they're completely and utterly wrong. See, when they first started coaching this, it was based on a platform that the players could play football. Well, the players can't play football anymore. So all they're learning is this stuff. And then all the good stuff to actually make them a footballer, they don't teach. So it makes them make silly mistakes like this that almost cost them, and it doesn't. And this is the clip I want to show you just here from the keeper. Haaland does something which, quite frankly, most games I've watched Erling Haaland play, he doesn't really do much except for kick the ball in the goal. He wasn't like that at Borussia Dortmund. He was very dynamic at Borussia Dortmund. But for Man City, he doesn't do much. He doesn't pick the ball up and beat players like he did just in this little incident or do anything. He just sort of stands there and kicks the ball in the goal, which is all well and good. But when he can't kick the ball in the goal, you want him to be involved a little bit more. And it's good to see him being involved a little bit more. But that's not who I really want to talk about. His quality little mazy run and his quality pass, which was really, really good. I want you to focus on the goalkeeper right here. Look at his positioning. When this ball's played through, he's on his 6-yard line, and immediately, boom, he's made a decision, and he's out like lightning. He's coming out to shut down. If he isn't, this is a goal, by the way. If he stays there and holds his ground like Anana in Man United, other terrible goalkeepers, this is a goal. He's not. He's off his line. He's watching. He's aware. Straight out perfectly. Not a good save. It's not a bad save. It's just a good, it's just a save. He does his job because he's out quickly. He read the situation fast and he responded to it. So here we are coming up to the first Man City goal. This is just a lumped up ball forward, a little flick on in behind. It's called Route 1, old-fashioned football. One player flicks it on, the other player runs on and kicks it into the net box, or sets it up in this case. Now, from a snapshot, you perfectly see that he's onside. Like, I don't even know why they had to go to VAR, but you know he's onside. You can see it plain as day. And that line is dead straight. That is not crooked in any way, shape, or form. That is exactly how they draw the lines on VAR. It's funny. This year, have you noticed they don't seem to be drawing the lines on VAR with that little... I know it's the automated offside stuff, but you still kind of want to see the lines, don't you? You still kind of want to go, well, I want to see if you're dodging us, and because we don't trust you. All of our trust from the Premier League and the referees is completely and utterly gone. But it's a simple flick on, and Man City, well, just like not just them, lots of defenders just aren't very good at dealing with long balls. They're just not. Heading that ball with a strong striker, trying to battle and fight them with it, can't do it. Technically, can they head the ball? Yeah. Can they jump up? Yeah. But can they do it when another player is bullying them and fighting them? No. Simple. Knock it off. What I do think is funny, let me just go back because I've got to share this. Someone's got their hand up, telling someone what to do. He's telling the linesman what to do. So we know in the next 5 seconds, someone's going to score a goal. We have a rule on this channel. When someone's arms up, and you know what? It happens almost every single game. He's so concerned about playing the offside trap and doing that he actually falls over. I think it's hilarious. It's like, oh, the head save. No, concentrate on your job. As I say, if you're raising your hand, yelling at somebody else something to do, you're not doing what you're doing. There's a purpose behind it. So normally what happens is the brain is doing multiple millions of things all at the same time. When your concentration factor, say 20% of it is concentrating on the linesman telling them what to do, and 80% is concentrating on the game, all of a sudden that's flip-flopped. Now it's 80% is concentrated on the linesman, 20% is concentrated onto walking, in fact, in this case, and he can't walk and he's falling over. Yeah, do your job. Don't worry about linesman. That'll all be taken care of. Just do your job. And this also goes to show you that Manchester City, they're not a slow team, but look how there's another 2 yards there, 4 yards to the ball, the separation here. And that comes down to their shape and their system. They're getting exposed again, just like they did last year. Again. Remember when everyone said that Pep can't build a team the second time round? He comes into a team that's already built, and then he just basically adds a couple of good players, and then he wins stuff? Well, yeah, this is his rebuilding time. He doesn't have Kevin De Bruyne. He doesn't have the Fernandinhos. Even though he's changing with Rodri, he doesn't have the David Silva. Even though he's changed in with Phil Foden, he's got a lot of work to do. And we're going to see if he's going to pull it off this season, because I have a feeling he might be gone at the end of this season, because I think it's too much for him nowadays. But Spurs, to their credit, in behind, lots and lots of space for them to exploit, because Man City is just nowhere to be seen. This pass across is still a bad pass, mind you. Watch. Do you see he has to stop and adjust his feet ever so slightly? Now, I will take the argument that it's not a bad pass, because if it's ever so slightly forward, the keeper's probably going to come and get it, which, yeah, I'll take that. But I want that guy, either the time is run a little bit better or that ball to be a little bit better, because he's a yard off. And I can't have you being a yard off if you're playing for me. That means you're a bad football player. Don't care you scored a goal. Your run needs to be better, because next time that ball and that run, you won't be as lucky and someone will get it. So be better. Into the net box. Yeah, we have to have the VAR to show everybody what they already know, which we already know it was onside. But yeah, we've got to try to make the game exciting and important because of, no idea why, but I do, just can't say it on YouTube. Now, this is a wider discussion, again, that I'll be probably covering. Might not be this Monday, but it will be a Monday night on our football show. It's passing the ball out of the back. I'm going to tell you right now, these coaches do not know why they pass the ball out the back, other than the reasons they're told from their sports analysts. Okay? It's the hipster way of playing football. The problem is, all of the sports analysts and all the data is taken over a range, okay? That range of football games. Most of the range of football games aren't taken when they're playing against certain systems. So this works great against things when you've got 2 strikers up front being able to press the ball because you can beat them. Or they go, oh, no, we use it against with 3 strikers. Yeah, but your data points aren't taken from professional games. It's completely and utterly different when you're playing against a solid team that's equal to you and they're playing a system with 3 up front. If they're below you, it's completely and utterly different, right? If they aren't up to your same level, you can do this. If they are same level as you, even if it's just a little bit below or above, you cannot play like this. Okay, you have to be able to go long, and the reason why you go long is because length makes width. Without width on the field, you cannot have. Sorry, without length on the field, you cannot have the width on the field. And the only reason you're able to get around and you beat people from passing the ball out around the back is having width to be able to play it into your player, turn and go out wide. Except for the player's already free. You can go out wide already. You don't need to do these extra steps. It's just nonsense. They want to make it confusing to make themselves sound smart. I know these coaches. I know how they think. They're genuinely dumb human beings. They want to make things complicated because they want to sound smart. Instead of just going, yeah, well, there's the pass out wide down there. Just play it to him. Just play it to him. No, but we have to be seeing to play it into the pivot because we like to say the word pivot, and we've learnt a new word. Well, you mean the defensive midfielder? Yeah, we don't call him that anymore because we want to call new language and new things. We call it breaking the lines instead of passing the ball forward. Yeah, but we want to be more complicated so that we can sound smart and then we can make buzzwords that sound intelligent. No, you're just idiots. You're overcomplicating stuff because you're dumb. Smart people, smart coaches make things as simple as possible because that's your job as a coach, to make it as simple as possible. And you can see right here, you've got 5 players blocking this middle of the field here. Where do you not want to pass the ball? Anyone? I'll take the middle of the field for 500, please. And yes, you would be correct. You do not want to pass the ball in the middle of this field. Does this goalkeeper know or understand that? No, because he's playing a system and he can't play football. That's where the ball needs to go, over to there. Or if he's good enough, straight over to there in one go. Doesn't, because he's trying to play it into the pivot, and all of a sudden, Bush, oh look, he was marked. Because the goalkeeper isn't a centre midfielder and doesn't know how to pass the ball in pace. Because what he can do, right, if he's decent, because what I do is you'd pass the ball right there. Why there? Because then he can turn on the outside of his foot and get away from the pressure there. That means his quality of pass must be good. He needs to put it away from that player on the other side of this player here so he can receive it, turn, and go. Okay? He doesn't. Not only does he not do that, he rolls it to him. You see that? He's rolling it to him. It's so slow. Like now the Man City player has to use his body to try to defend it because there's no pace on the ball, because this guy's not a midfielder, he's a goalkeeper, and you can't be doing things like this when you've got a player wide open, player over here, because you're making a system overcomplicated because you're trying to be clever. And now you're punished. Doof, straight in, all of a sudden, utter chaos. I do like this. Please tell me it's not Richarlison. I don't like that player. There's only a couple of players, like James Maddison and Richarlison, are 2 players I genuinely don't like. I think Madison's a decent footballer, just generally don't like him. This is quality though. I like the fact he doesn't take the shot on first time, actually uses his noggin, makes the keeper go down. Okay, he doesn't get the goal because it ends up bouncing and ricocheting, but doing that shows awareness. This should be a finish for his Richarlison, but because he's Richarlison, he manages to lose out to the goalkeeper on the ground. And this is how poor it is, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Manchester City players in the box. No one's close enough to the ball to challenge it. And it's in the back of the net box. From stupid decisions from a goalkeeper. You can't play these systems without certain key things being one. Goalkeeper is one of them. Man City, keep playing like this. Give me lots to talk about this season because that is rubbish. Sorry, they're not the only ones being rubbish because this is a rubbish pass out wide here. Keeper again is just trying to hurry the ball because it's been knocked to him under no reason he should be having the keeper there with a striker breathing down his net. I mean, it's ridiculous. But don't worry, we can mess it up just like you, Man City. That's what Tottenham are doing. We've seen you. We can Spurs it right up, except for they don't. I think Van der Ven makes a great tackle. I think it might be on Foden. I can't remember. On Foden, I think. I'm not going to get that far into it. I just wanted to show you that they make the same mistakes. Do you see the stretch there? Do you see why he's stretching? That's because the ball's passed there and not there. The defenders anticipated where he wanted the ball so he could ping it straight to here. He already knew what he wanted to do. He didn't understand it because he couldn't see it. He wanted to ping it out there and off he went. Can't see it. Can't see it. Keeper can't see it. Can't understand it because he's not an actual football player. And this should have been a goal. Man City, you should have scored a goal here. But other than that, I think Spurs are top of the league. And I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.